Shanti Sutra, that is peace formula we have read. Yes. Okay. Navvidya Bhakti, Navada Bhakti we have read. Work with devotion. Okay. Work in devotional service is better than the renunciation. Yes, that was the question which was started by the Arjuna. Work in devotional service is better than the renunciation. Okay. So this is today's chapter, that is Dhyana Yoga. Okay. 9 processes of devotional service. Yes, 9 processes. Now with the Bhakti. Okay. So let's read today's chapter. Today's chapter is Dhyana Yoga. Okay. So today's chapter is mostly dedicated for the people who do dhyana on the Paramatma form. So this is the Paramatma form, and they are doing the dhyana, they are meditating on the Paramatma. So that is called Dhyana Yoga, how we can attain Lord by using the dhyana. Okay. So let's start today's chapter with Guru Pranam mantra. Okay. Om Agyanam Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manoabhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Cha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschate Sutarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the teachings is based on the teachings of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and we pay our humble obeisances unto his feet so that his teachings of Bhagavad Gita we can apply in our life. Okay. So let's start today's chapter. So till 5th chapter, what we have read, let's summarize. Okay. So first chapter, quickly summarize. Okay. Observing the army with the 3 people, that is Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, and Arjuna. Then the reasons for Arjuna for not fighting, compassion, lamentation, and then he was saying, I won't fight. Okay. Then chapter 2 starts with Guru, Gita. Okay. Start with Guru. Okay. So we have read the 3 phases of realization. Then identity. What is our identity? Soul or body. Then the true dharma related to the true identity, and the person who is Atmaram, how they are situated. Okay. That means renunciation. Be an realized soul, Arjuna thought. Okay. Then Arjuna start. The 3rd chapter, action is better or renunciation is better. Then Krishna says action in devotion is better than renunciation. Then rungs on the yoga ladder we have seen. Okay. Then example of self-realized persons we have seen, and then the enemy of the soul we have seen in the 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga chapter. 4th chapter, transcendental knowledge, glories of transcendental knowledge, and process how we can have that knowledge is called transcendental knowledge. Okay. The mnemonic was past. Okay. So glorification of jnana and the process of transcendental knowledge. Then again same confusion continue. Action or renunciation is better. Then 5th chapter, date. Okay. Which is better? Work in devotion is better. Renunciation of work is better. Work in devotion is better. Then how to purify our mind, body, and senses without any desire. Okay. So how to work. That's what Krishna says. How to become a lotus Padma Patra. Okay. That was in the chapter number 5. Now in chapter number 6, that is Dhyana Yoga. So Karma Yoga we have finished. 5th chapter, 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga. And the 4th chapter was the Jnana Yoga. Now 6th chapter is the Dhyana Yoga. Okay. So 3 yoga we are, today we'll finish the 3rd yoga, that is Dhyana Yoga. Okay. So, so the mnemonic is easy, EASY. This chapter is very easy. Okay, so mnemonic is easy. Enemy or the soul. Our mind is our enemy or the soul. Our enemy or friend. We'll see in Sloka 1 to 9. Then we'll see about Ashtanga Yoga, how the Ashtanga Yoga is practiced in 10.36, 10 to 36. Then success or failure, what happens to the yogis who attain the success or who fail. Okay, so we lead in 37 to 45, and then who is the better, who is the best of the yogi, we'll see in the last. Okay, so that is 46 to 47. Yes, Hare Krishna. Four things: enemy of the soul, Ashtanga Yoga, success or failure, and greatest of the yogi. Easy. Okay, shall we start? Yeah, first portion. First portion, E. E for enemy or friend. Okay, 1 to 9 sloka. So, in the 5th chapter, Krishna says about the Ashtanga Yoga. Just a brief introduction about the Ashtanga Yoga. I will read this, the brief introduction which was given in the 5th chapter in the sloka 5.27 to 28. Two slokas were there, which were describing the 5th chapter, the last chapter. So it is said, the setting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostril, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence, the transcendentalist, aiming at liberation, becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. So basically, this the activity describes the Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, what a yogi does, he is sitting out all external senses, is setting out, keeping his eyes and vision concentrated between the eyebrows. He is keeping the vision between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breath within the nostrils. So he's suspending the breath. He's suspending the breath also, and thus controlling the mind. And in this way, he's controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence. And in this way, he is free from the desire, fear, and anger. So basically, this process, by sitting, you should be sitting in a nice posture so that you can concentrate, your eyes should be focused between your nostril, how you should sit, all those things are described. Okay, so that is described in this chapter. Okay, so let's read this chapter. So this was basically the introduction in 5th chapter only. Now the 6th chapter introduction is started. So what was the meaning of those sloka? Before practicing Ashtanga Yoga or before practicing the Dhyana Yoga, that is which is stated in 27 and 28, one must become purified by Niskam Karma Yoga. One must be in full control of mind and senses, and one must be completely indifferent and unaffected by all material things. Okay, so before starting of Ashtanga Yoga, your mind should be pure. Okay, your intelligence should be pure, and then only your mind can be concentrated in one thing. Okay, so purification is very important. Okay, so how we can purify? We can purify by Niskam Karma. Krishna says, by doing our prescribed duty, we can gradually purify ourselves. And when we are purified, we can come to Ashtanga Yoga and we can focus our mind on the Paramatma form. So first thing is purification. Unless and until we are purified, it is very difficult. It is very difficult to focus mind on one thing. Okay, so purification is very important. One must be in full control of mind and senses. How can we fully control of mind and senses? If our intelligence is purified, our intelligence can control mind, and our mind can control the senses. So if our intelligence is purified, we can control these two things. Okay, and one must be completely indifferent and unaffected by the material things. So this is the prerequisite for doing the Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, this is the prerequisite for doing the Ashtanga Yoga. Of course, Ashtanga Yoga is very difficult in this current yuga. Okay, this is what that's why this yoga practice is not practiced, not not done in this age. Okay, because it's too difficult. Dhyana yoga was the process of Satyuga. People used to meditate for thousands and thousands of years. It is not possible in the Kali Yuga. It is not possible to concentrate mind for 5 minutes also. It is too difficult. That's why in this Yuga, Yuga Dharma is chanting on the holy name. That's why. So Ashtanga Yoga is described. Let's see what is described here. But actions in Krishna consciousness, that is the actions in Krishna consciousness, that is Karma Yoga. What is there in whatever described in these slokas? Who works in devotion on his pure soul and who control his mind and senses is very dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, is never entangled. Okay, he is working and he is never entangled. One who works in devotion, one who works with the devotion to Krishna, and he is working also. He is devoting his mind also in Krishna. He is very dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. He is working in the outer world, but he is never entangled. Just like lotus leaf is untouched by the water. Okay, so this was the example given in the sloka. A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing, always know within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while sleeping, evacuating, receiving, or opening or closing his eye, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them. He is above them. Okay. These things are done by the material sense and he is aloof from them. That is self-realized person or person in divine consciousness. This is the thinking of that person. The yogi is abandoning attachment, acts with body, mind, and intelligence, and even in senses only for the purpose of purification. Okay, so this was the last chapter which was being said. And now we'll see the Ashtanga Yoga and see what is enemy and the friend in the chapters. Okay, so first question: what is yoga? What is yoga? What do you know? What is yoga? Can you tell me? Or I'll show you picture and ask, is it yoga? Yes or no, you should answer. Okay, yes or no, you should answer. Okay, this is yoga. Yes or no? Is it yoga? Yes or no? Chat box is open. You should start answering. Answer no. Union of Atma and Parma. No, 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 no. This is asana, one part of yoga. No, no, no. Everyone is answering no. Okay, correct. Next. So this person is putting his head inside this ground. Okay, nothing to breathe. How he's breathing, God knows. Okay, and he's keeping his body above. Okay, is it yoga? Is it yoga? No, no, no. Everyone is saying no. Anyone who is saying yes? Okay. No, no, no. Everyone is saying no. Yes, he is not doing. You can see one Bori is there. He's collecting. You can see some coins are put here. Okay. So he's just doing it for collecting some money from the people. It's just for the collecting money. Okay. So this is the thing. So you can see this picture where this person is there. You can see Ganesh is Lord Ganesha is pictured here. Different devatas are being pictured here in his body. Okay, so is it yoga? Yes or no? Is it yoga? Yes or no? Yes, it is not an yoga. With whom he is connecting? No one. He is just doing this exercise. Okay, there is no connection with the Lord. So this is not yoga. This person, yes or no? Same thing. No. Okay. Everyone is correct. No, it is not in yoga because this person is not connecting to the Supreme. Okay. This. So the people are there in the group. Okay. So one one like party is there. Okay, kitty party like thing is there. No, that is like one thing is there, and people are doing some exercises and they are drinking some alcohol. Okay, they are drinking alcohol. See, everyone is drinking alcohol. Is it an yoga? Is it an yoga? Yes or no? Definitely no. Okay. People here with whom they are meeting, huh? With whom? Sharab yoga. Is it Sharab alcohol yoga? It is definitely meeting to Sharab. Okay. So this is definitely not in yoga. They are just in the name of yoga. They are doing anything and everything. Okay. This girl. Okay. This girl, you can see doing exercise. So some position is there. Bakra is there. One bakra is there. One goat is there. Okay. Goat is there who is put above the girl. Okay. So is it a bakra yoga? Yes or no? Bakra yoga. Is it this yoga a yoga? This is definitely not a yoga. People say this is not some impractical thing. You see these things daily in your life. Okay. You see, you go out in the morning, you will see these things daily. That's in the name of yoga, what people are doing. Okay. What people are doing. This is Bakra yoga. He is meeting with Bakra. Okay. This exercise, kursi exercise. Okay. This is also not yoga, just a kursi exercise, just a chair exercise. So you can see different types of yoga, different types of marketing things are there. Marketing. They are making people think that this is yoga and they are marketing, they are earning money. That is what they have made today, all those things. Okay. Yoga chair, physical mental yoga, yoga for pregnancy, yoga for cat gen. For cats also yoga is there. Okay. So you can see in the name of yoga, they are selling the exercises. Okay. Desktop yoga, tennis yoga. You see this person. Tennis is putting the face. Okay. Office yoga. In office, they are doing yoga. Sorry. So in the office, they are doing like this yoga. Yoga for weight loss, back care yoga, yoga for wellness, desktop yoga, yoga business. Okay. Many things. Yoga for business success. Many things you see. This is not yoga unless until you are connecting to the Lord. Okay. So yoga has 4 processes now. Now coming to the yoga. Karma yoga we have already read. We are dedicating the senses. We are working for work, God. Okay. Jnana yoga, we have already read transcendental knowledge. Mind we are dedicating to Lord and we are acquiring the knowledge. Dhyana yoga. Dhyana yoga we are reading, that we are sitting in a posture, we are meditating, and intelligence we are dedicating to Krishna. Then the last, from the 7th chapter, the jewel part. Okay, I already told you, first 6 chapter Karma yoga, then 7 to 12 chapter is the Jnana yoga, the Bhakti yoga. The last 6 chapter is the Jnana yoga. So middle 6 chapters are called jewel. This Bhakti yoga is the jewel which will start from tomorrow. Okay, very nice that we'll be reading Bhakti yoga from tomorrow. So today we'll read the Jnana yoga. The jewel part we'll read from tomorrow. Okay, so today we'll read the Jnana yoga, Dhyan yoga. So these are the roadways, steps I told you. These are the steps of the ladder. But Bhakti yoga is the elevator, highway, super highway. You can see. Okay, expressway. Bhakti yoga, direct connection. Okay. Now, what is the Ashtanga yoga or Dhyan yoga will read? So Ashtanga yoga is there, sitting in a posture. He is attaching his mind to the Supreme Lord. Okay, the Paramatma form. What is the meaning of Ashtanga yoga? Ashtanga. Okay. Asht is the 8, Anga is the limb. Okay. So it is 8 limbs connection. So we are attaching ourselves to Lord with these 8 limbs. Okay. So what are the 8 limbs? Yama, external discipline. Okay. Niyama, internal discipline. External discipline, what we need to do, where we need to sit, how we need to sit, all those things. The niyams, the do's are the yamas. Okay. Niyamas are the don'ts, what we need not to do. Internal discipline. Okay, we should not eat too much, we should not sleep too much. Okay, so those things come in the niyama. So the don'ts come in the niyama. do's come in the yama, don'ts which we should not do will come in the niyama. Then asana. So whatever we have seen, the different postures that comes in the asana, but that was not perfect asana for the Ashtanga yogi. So even for one asana, even for sitting in one posture, it takes 20-30 years, 20 to 30 years practice to sit in one posture. Okay, so asana is not that which we have seen in the previous portions. Even that is not asana. Okay, asana was also very difficult to perfect one asana. Also, it takes 20 to 30 years for a meditate for a yogi. Okay, so that was the thing. Asana is the posture, how we sit, so that we can meditate for a long time in the Supreme Lord. Okay, so that was the posture, meditation seat. Okay, then the pranayam, how we should do the breathing exercise, how we can do the breathing. That is also very difficult to control. Okay, to control of the breathing. Pratyahara, withdrawal the senses. We should not engage the senses for the satisfaction, for the sense satisfaction. Okay, we should pratyahara, we should withdraw the senses. So these is the another limb. Then dharana, to concentrate on the Lord. Dhyana, meditative absorption. Now it is the becoming absorption. Then the last part is the samadhi. Okay, when we are union, we are integration, we are totally integrated. If we are fully absorbed in the Paramatma form, that is called samadhi. Okay, so it starts with the external discipline, what we should do, then niyam, what we should not do, then asana, then pranayam. So each limb will take many years to perfect. Okay, it is not like that you sit anytime, anywhere, any like anything, and you start doing anything. It's not like that. Okay, so even one limb also, it will take many years to perfect. Okay, that's why it was done in the Satyuga. Okay, so much, 1 lakh is the duration hours. Thousands years they are meditating. Okay, thousands years they are meditating. Why? Because they were so perfect at that age. Okay, so now the first portion, mind is enemy or friend. Okay, uddhared atmana atmananam na atmam avasadayet atmaneva hi atmano bandhur atmaiva ripur atmanaha. So atma is can be your bandhu, atma can be your ripu. Ripu is the dushman or the shatru. Okay, or atma can uddhar, do the uddhar. Okay, the mind, this is the word here used for mind. So the mind can do your uddhar, or mind can do is avsadayet. Okay, so let's see. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind, uddhar. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself, avsadayet. Okay, the mind is a friend of a conditioned soul and his enemy as well. So mind is both enemy as well as friend. Okay, so mind can degrade the person, or mind can do the deliverance of that person. So depends on mind. Okay, what is the mind following? If the mind is following Krishna's ways, then mind will deliver him. If my mind is following the Maya way, the way of Maya, then mind will degrade him. Okay, so that is the thing. So mind is the greatest friend as well as the greatest enemy. Okay, so our greatest enemy and greatest friend is mind. So we have to choose whether we want our mind to be greatest friend or enemy. So if it is controlled, mind is controlled, then it is your best friend. If it is mind is not controlled, it will be your greatest enemy. Okay, so that is the nature of mind. Nature of mind. Okay, बंधुर आत्मतम बंधुर आत्मा आत्मनस्तस्या येना आत्मैवात्मना जितः अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तते आत्मैव शत्रुवत. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So mind can be your greatest friend or enemy, depends on who is controlling whom. If mind is controlling you, then it is your greatest enemy. It will degrade you. If you are controlling the mind, then it is the greatest friend. Okay, it will elevate you. It will deliver you. Okay, so that is what it said. Krishna says. Let's see how our mind works. Okay, So there are three levels were there. First was the senses level. Above the senses level, we see that mind level is there. So we have compared this body to a chariot, and horses were compared to the senses. So these senses were compared to the horses, and the mind was compared to the rail, the rassi, the thread, the rope which was controlling the horses. The mind was compared to the reins. Okay, so the senses were there, and above the senses was the mind who was controlling the senses. But above the mind was the intelligence. Okay, intelligence was the sarathi or the chariot driver who were controlling the ropes of the chariot, and the ropes were controlling the horses. So three levels. First is the senses. Above the senses is the mind. Above the mind is intelligence. Okay, so we already know that we have five senses: eyes, nose, tongue, ear, and skin. So these are the five senses are there, and with these senses we see the different world. We see outside world. We acquire different information from our world, outside world. Okay, and we see our sense objects also. The sense objects are there, and when our senses is attracted to the sense objects, then it will the work will be there. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, so senses is there, and senses and sense objects are there. So this is the first level. Okay, the sensual level. Then comes the mind. So the work of senses is to acquire what is there in the outside environment. Work of mind is storehouse of the thoughts, unfulfilled desires, and previous experience. So storehouse of thoughts. So whatever things are there, outside information we are collecting, we are storing in the mind. Okay, so it is the storehouse of the thought is there. Okay, and whatever desires we have based on the senses, when senses see some sense object. Okay, when our nose smells something very delicious. Okay, that is nose is attaching to the sense object, and a sense organ is attaching to the sense object. Then that is called some desires may be fulfilled, and if the desire is fulfilled, then it is then it is stored as a previous experience. If desire is unfulfilled, then it is stored as unfulfilled desires. So many desires we have, unfulfilled desires we have, and if the desires are fulfilled, previous experience we have. Okay, and it's the storehouse of thought. Okay, so mind is the storehouse of thought, unfulfilled desires, and previous experience. Okay, so these things are there in the mind. Now comes the intelligence, which is higher than the mind. Okay, so intelligence can control the mind because it is the decision maker. Okay, what is correct, what is not correct, what is right, what is wrong, these things can be chosen by the intelligence. Okay, so the intelligence knows which is correct, which is not correct, what I should do, what I should not do. Okay, so that comes under the intelligence. Okay, so that is the intelligence part. So this is the thing. So how to control the mind? Okay, how to control the mind? This questions comes after this. Okay, so basically, if you are controlling the intelligence, if intelligence is under our control, then the lower thing, that is mind, it will be automatically controlled. If intelligence is under our control, if mind is under our control, then automatically the senses will be also under control. Okay, so that is the thing. If you are not able to control the horses only, if you are not able to control the senses only, then anywhere the horses can go. So anywhere we can land up. Okay, so that is the thing. So the thing is, we need to control the intelligence, then our mind will be controlled, our intelligence will be, our senses will be controlled. Okay, and above, if you remember that the chariot thing, above the intelligence was the soul level. Soul was very near to the intelligence. Okay, now the question comes, how to sharpen the intelligence so that our mind, our senses will be under our control. To sharpen the intelligence, the thing I have given you, that was the formula, ABCD formula. Okay, that was the formula which we can apply to control the intelligence. Very important, association. If you are associating with the right people, our intelligence will develop in the right way. If you are associating with the wrong people, our intelligence will be thinking in that only. Okay, so that is the thing. If our intelligence is not sharpened, mind will take control. If our mind is not powerful enough to control the senses will take control. Okay, so many people will see They're running after the sense gratification, running after the sense. Why? Because their mind is not powerful, their intelligence is not powerful. How to control those things? First is association. When we associate with the right people, our intelligence will gradually sharpen according to what we get from those people. Okay. Then we, for Bhagavad Gita reading, when we're reading Shastra describe what is correct, what is not correct. Okay. So our intelligence gets sharpened. See, for chanting, when we do chanting, then we associate with the Lord's quality we'll see. And gradually, when we are associating with the Lord, those quality will also develop in us, okay, in minute quality, but quantity, but those quality will develop, purification will happen, okay. So that is the C part. And D part, that is the diet part, I will explain in the 17th chapter, okay. So that is the thing. So that is the way to intelligence. D is for diet, yes. So sharpen the intelligence. So we know now how to control the mind. So these things, Yama Niyama, let me explain Yama Niyama all. Yama 6.10, he should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. So what he should do is, he should live in a secluded place. He should go to the Himalaya and sit there and meditate, carefully control the mind. Niyama, regulate what should not be done. That is, don'ts are don'ts. The don'ts, what we should not do, comes with the niyama. Regulate his habit of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. Okay, so this comes in the niyama. Then asana, how we should sit. So it is explained here. Lay kushagras. So kushagras should be laid on the ground. Then cover it with a deer skin. So deer skin should be there, which will be covering the kushagras. Seat. The seat should neither be too high nor too low, and should be situated in a sacred place. One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, one should meditate upon me. So this is the asana which Krishna describes. Then comes the pranayam. Pranayam. Practice stopping the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and outgoing breath into the out. Practice stopping the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at the last remain in the trance. So how we should control the breathing? Okay, that is what Krishna is saying. Then pratyahara, cessation of the material existence. The material senses we should cessate. We should sedate. Okay, withdrawal of the senses, that is called pratyahara. Then comes the dharana. Discipline his mental activity and become situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desire. He is said to have attained yoga. Then comes the dhyana. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist, whose mind is controlled, remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendental self, transcendent self. Okay, so you are sitting, you are controlling your mind fully. Okay, you are sitting in a position, the asana, and you are controlling the breath. Okay, you are not taking breath, you are stopping the breath also. Then senses you are withdrawing. Then you are attaining the yoga. Okay, attaining the dharana state. Then the dhyana state, like a windless place is there and a lamp is there. So the fire, the lamp is not moving like in a windless place, so that your mind should be there and it should be focused like that in the transcendental self. Okay, in the samadhi, one is never shaken even in the midst of greatest difficulty. This indeed is the actual freedom from all misery arising from material contact. So 8 stages are there. Okay, 8 things are there. Every process is the one process we start, then second, then third, like that 8 limbs are there. Then ultimately will come in the samadhi stage, and each step is very difficult. You see the description, very difficult. Very much regulations are there in each step. Okay, will you able to perform these steps? This was recommended in the Yuga of Satyuga. Will you able to perform these steps? Yes or no? Can you tell me? Are you able to try these steps? Are you ready to try these steps? Or will you able to perform these steps? Yes or no? confused. Many people are confused whether yes or no, yes or no. Let's see what Arjuna says. Okay, let's see what Arjuna says. Then try to see what is the what is the thing. Okay, so these were the yoga steps. The first is animal life, then the karma kanda, that is regulated sense gratification. Animal life is full sense gratification on the sensual level only. Then karma kanda, regulated sense gratification, not doing anything for the Lord, but regulated sense gratification. Then niskam karma yoga, we are giving the fruits to the Lord. Then comes the Gyan Yoga, speculative knowledge about Brahman and austerity. So austerity is being done, Brahmana knowledge there. Then Ashtanga Yoga. This is what we are reading. Control of mind and senses by Eightfold Path, plus meditation on the Super Soul or the Paramatma in the heart. Each steps will take many years to perfect. Okay, and it is very difficult to perform in the Kali Yuga. Then comes the Bhakti Yoga, loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Loving devotional. Okay, when we start loving Krishna, that comes there comes the Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so these are the progressive stages. Okay, so all those stages are like staircase. Bhakti Yoga is like elevator. Okay, now are you going to give this yoga system a try, Arjuna? Krishna is asking, Krishna is after describing, are you going to give this yoga system a try, Arjuna? Now Arjuna is saying, Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and undurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady. Okay, mind is, he's saying, Arjuna is saying, the mind is restless and unsteady, and the system which you have told me seems impractical and unendurable to me. Okay, that is what Arjuna is saying. Now compare yourself with Arjuna. Arjuna was a great warrior. He's called a Sabyasachi. He can throw arrow with both hands at one time. One time he can throw arrows with both hands. Okay, he was so perfect. He can kill 10,000 soldiers at one time. Okay, he was Maharati. He was a great devotee of Lord Krishna's presence was there in front of him. Okay, and he was a great devotee. Lord says that you are my great devotee. He was a great devotee of Lord. He was a great archer. He was a great dhanudhar. He was a perfect yogi, of bhakti yogi. Okay, so that was the position of Arjuna. What is our position? Nothing. Our position in front of Arjuna is nothing. We are not perfect in anything. Okay, in anything we are not perfect. We are we are trying to. And Arjuna's position. See the Arjuna's position. He was great devotee of Lord, and that person is saying that this system appears impractical and unendurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady. He is saying that mind is very restless and unsteady. Okay. No way, it's not possible. It's impossible. The yoga system which you have told me, it is impossible for me in this yoga. Okay. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Krishna, this mana or the mind is very, very chanchal. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati beloved dridham. Okay. Tasyaham nigraham manne vayur eva su duskaram. Okay. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna. And to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. He can control, Arjuna can control the arrow, the wind with his arrow. Okay, he can create hurricane. So he can control the wind also with his with his arrows. But he's saying, even controlling the mind is difficult, more difficult than controlling the wind. This is what Arjuna's thinking is. This is what Arjuna is saying after Krishna explains the Ashtanga Yoga. What is our position? Okay, what is our position? Very difficult. So this Ashtanga Yoga, I already told you, very difficult. Okay. So I have already known this. The 5 horses, the reins, the mind, and above the mind is the chariot driver, the intelligence, and the eye is sitting in this place. Soul is sitting there, and the soul is above the intelligence, which is the driver, and the intelligence above the mind, and the mind is above the senses. This which is control. Okay, this is the chariot. So what is the formula to control the mind? What is the formula to control the mind? Okay. So how we can control the mind? This is what Krishna says. Okay. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Ashamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kanteya Vairagena cha grihate. Lord Sri Krishna said, O mighty arm son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind. Krishna also says, undoubtedly, asamsayam, there is no sansaya, that it is very difficult to control the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and detachment. Okay, what is the suitable practice in this age? What is the suitable practice in this age? Can anyone tell me what is the suitable practice for this yoga? Yes, anyone? Practice for yoga is the chanting. Okay, chanting process. Okay, chanting is the yoga dharma. This yoga is not Ashtanga yoga is very difficult for this age. Chanting is the only way, practical way, which is there in this yoga. Okay. So only practice make it possible. So two things are there: suitable practice and detachment. Detachment, I will tell you in 15th chapter when Krishna describes detachment. Suitable practice is the chanting. I will tell you today. Okay. Two things are there: practice abhyasena and detachment vairagyena. Okay. So do the following 9 processes of bhakti, especially hearing. So bhakti starts with the hearing. Practice abhyasa. What is the meaning of practice? Practice means do the things which you know, regularly do the things. Okay. Practice it daily, every day you practice it. That is the abhyasa. Okay. When you read anything, you practice it daily. Okay. When you again practice it, then it's solidified. So that is the thing. Abhyasa means practice daily. Practice chanting process daily you should do. Okay. So that is, try to focus your mind on Krishna. Okay. So do following 9 processes of bhakti, the practice. Detaching the mind from the activity not devoted to the Lord. Okay, so that is the detachment, vairagya. So mind can be controlled by abhyasa, by attaching ourselves to Krishna and detaching ourselves from the material thing. Okay. Third thing, success or failure. So many people are there. So this is a long process. Many people are there who fails also in this path. Okay, because it's very long process. Many times it requires many time duration. So certainly many people are not they are not perfecting their life in one life. So what happens to those? This is what question is asked by Arjuna. What is the destination of someone who still tries Ashtanga yoga? Krishna says, the unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planet, so the yogi is unsuccessful. He has tried the process, but he is unsuccessful. So the unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into the family of righteous people or into the family of rich aristocracy. So first they will go, the unsuccessful yogi, they will go to the higher planets, okay, where the pious live. So they will go to the upper planetary system like Swargaloka and they will enjoy there. Okay. After enjoying, they will come back to this planet again and they will take birth in the family of righteous people, the people who are in the good mood, who are who are not in the demoniac nature, the people who are in the having some divine qualities. Okay, those type of people, good people, the people who are in the mode of goodness, those people will take birth or into a family of rich aristocracy. Okay, rich aristocracy means the people who are already rich, he will take birth among them so that he don't have to too much endeavor for the small living things like roti, kapda or makan. Okay, like food, shelter, and the clothes. For these small things, he don't have to too much endeavor, so that he's taking birth in the rich aristocratic family, and he can start the devotional service from there, because he don't have to endeavor too much for the living. Okay, so he will take birth. The unsuccessful yogi, they will born in the family of a heavenly planet, then they will born in the family of rich aristocratic people. Okay, so two types of there. Second, if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga. Okay, so if they have started the yoga practice and they have done the yoga practice for long period. Okay, so maybe like the thing which we have discussed, like maybe you can take an example at 25% they have perfected their yoga and 75% were left. Okay, but a person who has perfected 75%, only little bit is left, what happened to those people? So, or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists. Okay, so he will take the birth in a family who are devotee. From the starting only devotee are there. They are devotee only. So from birth only, they can start the devotional service. Okay, and who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world. Okay, so the people, the transcendentalists who have the yogi who have done the long practice of yoga, they will take birth among the transcendentalists and they can start their journey from there. Okay. Last part, who is the perfect yogi? Now Krishna described all those things. Now, last, after describing Ashtanga yogi, now Krishna is describing who is the most perfect yogi. Okay, who is the greatest yogi. So Krishna says, योगी नाम अपि सर्वेषां मद्गता गतेनांतर आत्मनः श्रद्धाय श्रद्धावान भजते यो माम सामे युक्ता तमो मतः. So what is the mata of Krishna? What is the opinion of Krishna? Yogi naam api sarvesham. Of all the yogis which I have described you, mad gatenantar atmanah, who is devoting his, who is thinking about Krishna, who is devoting his life, who is devoting his soul to Krishna, he is devoting his life to Krishna, he is rendering loving service to Krishna, he is doing bhajan, who is bhajate, who is devoting himself to Krishna. That yoga is the highest. This is what Krishna says. Of all the yoga, one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service. So he is doing loving service to Krishna. Okay, loving service, transcendental loving service. He is the most intimately united in me in yoga and is highest of all. That is my opinion. Okay, so Krishna is saying this type of yoga is there where loving service is there, who is rendering loving service, who is thinking about me, who is working for me, and they are the greatest of you. Can you tell me what type of yoga Krishna is describing? Is it karma yoga? Is it dhyana yoga? Is it jnana yoga? Or is it bhakti yoga? Which yoga type Krishna is saying is best? Can you tell me in the chat box? Which yoga is this? Which yoga is best? Bhakti yoga, Bhakti yoga. Krishna describes and tells Bhakti yoga is best. Okay. So yoga is linking oneself with the Supreme. So all the yoga we have read, Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, then Dhyana yoga. Okay. Krishna says Bhakti yoga is best among all of them. Okay. Loving devotional service towards Lord. This is what we are aiming for. So which is the best yoga system that you want to accept? Is the Bhakti yoga. Okay. So now let's read about that. Okay. What is the meaning of Bhakti yoga? What is the how to do chanting, all those things. Okay. So let's see this sloka. This is from Sikshashtakam given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So let's see. Cheto darpan marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam purna amrit ashadanam Sarvatma sanapanam param vijate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, the glory of Sri Sankirtan, this Sri Krishna Sankirtan. What is the meaning of Sankirtan? What is the meaning of Japa? Japa is when we are doing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for ourselves, for when we are sitting and doing the Japa that we can only listen, that is called Japa. When we are doing in the outside, when we are doing so that every person who is listening is there who is listening, okay? So that is called Sankirtan, okay? The Sankirtan party, we are doing the Japa, that is called Sankirtan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described the glory of Sankirtan, Sri Krishna Sankirtan. So glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan. Cheto darpan marjanam. Cheto is Chetana, is the mind, okay, or the intelligence, mind. Darpan. So this Chetana is compared to a darpan or the mirror. Marjanam is the cleaning, okay. So the glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan with cleansing the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditioned life. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. It is extinguishing the fire. This Sankirtan movement extinguishes the fire, okay, which is there in the conditioned life, okay. So what is the glory of Sankirtan? Sankirtan Yagna, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years. We have been taking many births in this body, okay. Different body we are taking, and we are forgetting about Krishna because we have taken so many births, so many body we have taken, and we are forgetting about Krishna. And this is like a like a dust which is accumulating in the mirror. So this Sankirtan Mahayagna, this Sankirtan Yagna will cleanse the heart of all the dust which is accumulated for the years, for the lives, and it extinguishes the fire of conditioned life. So this conditioned life is a fire. This material world is like a fire. This life is a fire, okay, and we are getting burned here, okay. And this Sankirtan Yagna extinguishes that fire of conditioned life of repeated birth and death, okay. This is what Sankirtan Yagna does. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for the humanity. So humanity is there, and it is prime benediction for the humanity. The humanity can do Sankirtan Yagna, that is the best part. Other living entity other than human, they cannot do the Sankirtan. They cannot take the Japa. They cannot meditate on Lord, okay. But it is the prime benediction to the humanity that they can do the Sankirtan Yagna. So this is the prime benediction for the humanity. Benediction is the boon, or we can say is one boon, that is called benediction, that is boon. So it is the benediction for the humanity that they can do Sankirtan, they can take the Lord name, they can meditate on Lord. That is the greatest benediction for the humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all the transcendental knowledge. Whatever knowledge you have, whatever Bhagavad Gita you read, Bhagavatam you read, at last you will come that Bhakti Yoga is best, and at last you will know that Sankirtan Yagna is the basis of all the transcendental knowledge. So whatever knowledge you have, that is the knowledge, the theoretical knowledge. Practical knowledge will start from the Sankirtan Yagna. That practical knowledge will start from the Japa. That practical knowledge will start from the taking the Lord's name. So that is the thing. It is the life of all the transcendental knowledge. It is the base of all the transcendental knowledge. Okay. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss. So transcendental bliss is there. When we are taking the name of Lord, we are dipping ourselves in the ocean of the transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. So human beings are always anxious for the happiness, searching everywhere. But Lord Chaitanya says that this Sankirtan Yagna, this Sankirtana movement, this Sankirtana will give such a nectar to the person that the nectar to the person which he is always anxious to get. He is always anxious for the happiness, for the bliss, and this Sankirtan gives that bliss to the person. That is the power of Sankirtan Yagna. That is the power of Japa, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in this one of the verses of the Sikshashtakam. Okay, Sikshashtakam. So that is the glory of Sankirtan Yagna. Next, Srimad Bhagavatam 7.9.39. In this age, the process of chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is only method by which to cleanse in the sinful mind. So our mind is so sinful. When we are attaching ourselves to Lord, we are taking the Lord's name. It purifies the heart, it purifies the mind. The only method in this Kali Yuga. This is called Kali Yuga Dharma. Chanting is called Kali Yuga Dharma. So it is the basis. In Kali Yuga, when we are chanting, we can cleanse in our heart using this process. Okay. So only method by which cleanse the sinful mind. When the mind is completely cleansed of all the sinful reaction, one can then understand his duty in the human form of life. Unless and until our mind is, we cannot understand what is our duty in this human form of life. Okay. And we don't understand also that what is the greatest benediction, what is the greatest benediction we have in this human life, and we can misutilize our life, we can misutilize our human body. Okay, so only method is to cleanse the sinful mind. The only method is to chant, take the Sankirtan Yagna, do the chanting process and purify our mind and try to understand what is the process, what is the use of this body. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam 7.3.39. In this age, the process of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is only method. Okay, so we have read this. Next, Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 17.022. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara. So he's saying Kali Kale, in the Kali, in the age of Kala, in the age of Kali Kala, Kali Yuga, Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara. Krishna will take the avatar in the form of name. So if I am saying Krishna, it is not only this word, it is the avatar of Krishna. Okay, so this is what Krishna descends in this Kali Yuga in the form of his holy name, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Okay, so when we are taking the name of Krishna, Krishna actually is present here, but we are not able to sense his presence. Okay, but Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita that in Kali Kale Nama Rupa Krishna Avatar, Krishna takes avatar in the Kali Yuga in the form of name. So when we chant the holy name, we are coming in contact with the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, because Krishna is non-different from his name in Kali Yuga. Okay, so Krishna is same as his name. Krishna and his name is same. So when we are taking the name of Krishna, we are coming in direct contact with Krishna, and gradually it will purify our heart. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam 12.3.51. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is an ocean of fault, there is still one good quality about this age. So full of fault. This Kali Yuga is full of fault, full of fault. Everywhere you will find fault. But one thing is there, one good quality is there in this Yuga. What is that good quality? What is that good quality? Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from the material bondage and be promoted to the Transcendental Kingdom. Just by taking the name of Lord, we can transcend ourselves to the Lord's kingdom. We can go back to our real home, that is back to Godhead. Okay, that is the best thing in this Kali Yuga. How can just a sound give you so much happiness? Krishna, the sound giving you so much happiness, how can it be? The Hare Krishna Mahamantra isn't an ordinary sound. Krishna is present in his name, and because Krishna is the reservoir of all the spiritual pleasure, his names are also full of pleasure. Okay, that's why a great spiritual master once said, what he said, very important. He wanted millions of ears to hear Krishna's name and millions of tongues to chant them. So he was thinking, okay, he started tasting the nectar of the name, and he was thinking, that why only have one ear, one tongue and 2 ears only? I want millions of tongue and millions of ears to chant the name and to listen the name. That is what the realization of great spiritual master is. Okay. Now, what are the do's? How we should chant? Okay. Chant the Panchatattva mantra before starting the chant of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We take the name of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associate before chanting the Mahamantra. So before we start the chanting, we take Panchatattva mantra. That is Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, this is the Panchatattva mantra we take before chanting Mahamantra, and chanting we do is loudly, so that loud enough to hear the mantra. So we can hear like that. Okay, it is not like that we are doing in the mind. Okay, mind is very powerful. You will sleep, whatever, many things you can do. Okay, but when you are chanting little loudly, then we are hearing, our tongue is engaged, our ear is engaged. Okay, in that process we are engaging, so that we should chant little loudly so that we can hear that. Okay, pronounce each name distinctly. Okay, you should not be in a hurry. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, like that. It should not be like that. Each name should be distinct. Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, each word, each name should be distinct. Okay, chant with respect, devotion, and concentration. Respect should be there. Krishna is appearing in front of you. Respect should be there. Respect, devotion, and concentration. Okay, you can chant in any place, sitting, walking, facing any direction. Many people think that only north, only south, this direction. No, you can sit in any place, any sitting, walking. Even if you are, many people feel sleepy while sitting, so they walk and they do chanting. Okay, any place you can sit, and any place you can walk, in any place, and you can face in any direction. You can do the chanting. Okay, you can chant at any time. Okay, but Brahma Muhurta time, that is morning time, is the most important time you can do the chanting. However, it is recommended to chant during the early morning hours or the Brahma Muhurta. Otherwise, if you have not completed chanting in the morning, you can complete in any time of the day. Okay, you can chant either before or after taking bath. So you can take a bath, then you can chant, or you can chant before taking bath. Okay, it is recommended to chant by keeping count. Okay, so 108 times Tulsi Mala, having 108 beads, or any other mala in the starting. If you have any other mala, you can start chanting, but 108 beads should be there, and you can start chanting on that bead. Okay, it is recommended to chant by keeping count. Don'ts for chanting, what we should avoid during the chanting. One should not chant only a portion of Mahamantra. What is the meaning? Some people will chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It should not be like that. Full mantra is there, we should chant full. Okay. One should not chant while reading a book or a newspaper or watching TV. We should chant with great devotion. Okay. So when we are watching the TV, when we are watching the newspaper, when we are reading a book, our attention is there. We are not able to give attention to Krishna. That is the thing. Benefits of chanting. Okay, whole family chanting. You see, benefit of chanting: freedom from reaction of sins, sinful reactions, freedom. Sankirtan. So this is what people are out and they are doing the Sankirtan, Yagna, Hare Krishna, Mahamantra very loudly. So other people are also listening. So see the face. See this face. See the face. See the face. See the face. Happy, 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 happy. That's why it is said, chant and be happy. Okay, chant and be happy. The happiness which we are searching for so many years, so many days, so many lives, we will get by chanting the name. Okay? That is what it is said. Chant and be happy. So just unmuting everyone for chanting with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Yes. So if you have any question, you can ask me in the chat box. I'll try to answer. I hope you have understood the chapter. I hope you are doing the quizzes also, because after doing the class, just after finishing the class, you should go and do the quizzes. 5 minutes it will take, because the chapter is fresh in your mind. You can do the quizzes very easily. Okay. Later it will be difficult. Okay.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Question. Yes, Mataji.
How can we chant before bathing? Won't that be disrespecting the holy name, as we will be contaminated?
So when we are having contamination, then we should not chant. Okay. After bathing only we should chant. But when we are not contaminated, we can chant at that time. Okay. So that is the thing. But it should not be excused that we are not chanting. Okay. We should chant every day. We should chant. When you think that you are contaminated, many things are there. For the many things during sleep happens. If you are contaminated, we think that your contamination is there, then you should first bath yourself, then you should chant. Okay. Otherwise, you can chant. One question is there in my personal chat. Can our past life karma be removed completely when we devote ourselves to Krishna? Krishna tells this. Earlier also Krishna tells that with transcendental knowledge will burn all the sinful reactions. Transcendental knowledge, just like a fire, it can burn all the sinful reactions. Okay. Already Krishna told that our past life karma can be removed completely when we are fully devoting ourselves to Krishna. When we take shelter of Krishna, Krishna will take care of us. When we take shelter of Maya, Maya will take care of us. The Maya will take care how? Maya will take care based on previous karma. Okay. Any other question? We have time. So I have already described the chanting process. Okay. So the beads. Okay. When we chant in the beads. Okay. So beads are there. The chanting bag is there. So Mataji has already put that link in the today's the group in the today's in the group. Okay. So when we are ordering for the books, the chanting bag and beads will also come in that. So you can have the hard copy, you can have the beads also to chant. So you can start chanting. You can do. If you don't have the beads, you can chant on the hand, and you can one full round will be 108 times. Okay, so 108 times you can chant in the hand, and you can finish this regularly. Okay, so it is not an excuse that you don't have the beads, you should not chant. You should chant, but you can start chanting on the hands also. Okay, so that is the thing. You can start chanting on the hands also.
Next question,
Will
Prabhuji,
you be sending the acronym
of each chapter at the
Will you
end
be
of the
sending?
course?
I am already telling you the acronyms daily. Okay, so that if you are making notes, it will be easy. Okay? So acronyms I'm daily telling you. Okay, today's chapter acronym. What was the today's chapter acronym? Can anyone tell me? Easy. Yes, today's chapter acronym was easy. Okay, so daily when I was summarizing also I was giving the acronyms. Okay, so it is for first level devotees. When we are starting the classes, they should remember the chapter. That's why I'm giving the acronyms. Okay, so first chapter, can we revise first chapter acronym? What was the first chapter acronym? Yes, anyone? First chapter acronym. How this Bhagavad Gita started? It started with a doubt. Okay, so first chapter acronym was a doubt. Many people remember the acronym and they forget the chapter. Okay, like that also happens. So first chapter acronym was a doubt. Okay, second chapter. What was the acronym of second chapter? Yes, acronym of second chapter. Second chapter acronym was Gita. Okay, Gita. Third chapter, tree. Tree was the acronym. Okay. Fourth chapter, past. Okay. Fifth chapter, date. Sixth chapter, easy. Okay. So these were the dates. Okay. So these were the acronyms. Can you tell me one thing which you have learned in today's chapter, and we'll finish because no questions are there in the chat box. So just tell me one things which you have learned in this today's chapter, but you can take home message, like take home message, what you have learned in today's chapter. It is difficult to control the mind and senses, but we can definitely chant the name of Lord Krishna and make it possible. Yes, that is the process recommended. We should start chanting. Many people have started chanting. Many people are yet to start chanting. Maybe I'm not able to convince you that how the chanting is important. Okay. If I am able to convince you, start doing the chanting. Okay. Practical application is very important. Just reading the things is not important. It won't do anything unless and until you you apply the process in your life. Okay. Chanting, all of the person who are attending the class you should do. Many people think that what my family members will think if I'm chanting in front of them. Okay, what they will think. Earlier they may laugh at you, but later they will understand that this is also important process, and they will start also doing the chanting. Your younger, the people who are dependent on you, they will also see you, and they will start also, they will start chanting. Okay, unless and until they see you chanting, how they will chant. Okay, so this is a big stumbling block in many people, that what my family members will say. Okay, so your family members will inspire from you. Okay, maybe earlier they may laugh, but later they will inspire from you. Okay. Okay, so what you have learned in today's class, we'll finish. We'll stop the session after this. One thing what you have learned in today's class. You have learned about the Ashtanga Yoga, controlling the mind. What you have learned? Can anyone tell? No answers. One thing, two things, what you have learned. Bhakti Yoga is best. Yes, that was the last thing which you learned. Bhakti Yoga is best. Yes. Okay. Any other? Okay. So no question, no answers. So let me finish the chapter. Today we have learned is Ashtanga Yoga is very difficult. Bhakti Yoga is very easy. Okay. I'm giving you the process also, how to do the chanting. Okay, that also I told you. Okay, mind can be your best friend or your best enemy. Okay, depends on you which you choose. Are you choosing the correct way or the wrong way? Okay, so that was the thing. Today's chapter. Just unmuting everyone. So for the Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji. Hare
Mataji, Sri Vidya
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
We'll meet tomorrow again. Hare Krishna.